Mitzy Pearson here with the Handi Quilter Inspiration Squad. I have a little secret to tell you. I've been loading my quilt frame wrong. Well, wrong, but it's working for me. Let me show you. First of all, rather than putting my quilt underneath the back bar, I like to lay the quilt over the top of the bar and find some guideline, something that goes straight across the quilt that I can look at to know that I've got the quilt loaded straight. I'm looking at the little fox's eyes in this case. So I'll attach one clamp on one end and then just slide my hands over to the other end, making sure those eyes are right on top of the bar, and attach the clamp on the right. Now, I'm going to put two more clamps on. And those look pretty straight. Now, since I'm layering the quilt on top of the bar, I've got to think about something. The back bar is a little bit higher than the rest of the frame, you'll see. So, you don't want your quilt to be coming down at an angle from the top of that bar. So when you attach these clamps, make sure that they're going straight down and that they're all pretty even. If for some reason you get your quilt on just perfectly straight, but you realize that you haven't put the clamps on going straight down and your quilt is up high in the back, just grab the bar and turn it down towards you until you can see that your quilt is nice and level. Okay, let's think about this. What if you've got your quilt perfectly on the bar, but you go over here with your machine and you realize you haven't given yourself enough room on one side or the other? Well, your bar is longer than the frame. So just come over here and push that bar over just a bit. Now you'll have plenty of space to do your test stitching. Now, the next thing to think about is all of this fabric or the quilt that you've already quilted in back. You want to just roll this quilt up and on top of this back bar. Now, you'll grab one of your hold tight clamps and just clamp the quilt onto the handle of your easy grass clamps. You can use the large ones or the small ones, but the main thing is don't roll your quilt up to the back. This is going to cause you to lose a few inches of stitching area, and it may cause some drag on your machine. So roll your quilt up nice and snug and clamp it to the handles. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is add the gallery clamps. These things are awesome. I have two of them, which you might think is excessive, but nope, it's perfect. These big clamps will help you to get even tension all the way across your quilt so that you won't have tight spots and loose areas. So the same thing goes here. However, you're not putting these clamps down from the top. You're going to attach these clamps from the front edge. So get the first one's edge started and just push it forward. And you're doing the same thing here. I'm looking at my quilt and I'm finding a guideline to look at. In this case, it's the ears of the little cats. Smooth the quilt along, start again with the next clamp, and just push it in. I use my belly to help with that. Okay, so this looks pretty good. The next thing I'm going to look at is this edge here. I don't have a clamp, so I'm going to use the bungee clamps. These have a nice, there we go, the bungee clamp. You don't want it too tight, just enough to hold on to your work. Okay, so I can get all the way over here to do some test stitches. As I move to the right, I want to know how far I can go. So I move the machine all the way, put in a little safety pin somewhere that I will see it. I don't want to run over that pin. All right, I do the same thing in the front. I'm going to see how far I can come. If I think I can remember it, like in this case, I would want to stitch to about the little cat's eyes. If I can't remember it, I'll add a little safety pin. So, I hope these tips helped.